Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
What I love about this weekend, okay, is that everyone on the planet knows about racing this weekend.
Yes.
Even those who don't know about racing know about racing this weekend.
Yes.
I mean, whether they do the 18-hour stint on the couch on Sunday or get out to your local track or go to Monaco or go to Indianapolis or go to Charlotte or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
This
Port
is,
Royal.
Or Port Royal,
Yeah.
exactly. Because that's the big four: Monaco, Indy, Monaco, Indy, Charlotte, and Port Royal. There's the four.
It is to me.
That's to me too.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it is the big weekend. Oh, by the way, this is the Wing Nation, the podcast. Erin, Evernham, and Steve posted. That's what we're going to talk about because one of ours, a sprint car guy, has fielded a team for the Indianapolis 500. And I'll be darned if they didn't put Pippa Mann with their driver in the show and didn't even have to go through the shenanigans of that last row mess.
It was close.
Yes,
Woof.
it was. They were the last car in, but that's better than those last three battling
Absolutely.
for
Such an
spots.
amazing story.
And it is. So Tim Clauson's going to join us. Tim, I'm telling you, this is. I can't wait to talk to him. So we're going to have Tim Clauson join us here in just a little bit. Matter of fact, let's just get all the business taken care of so we can talk to Tim. I'm ready to talk to him right now. So what we need to do is we need to let you take a listen to this, okay? This was Friday night. This was Attica Raceway Park, okay? This was the wild child, Jack Haudenschild, and Joey Saldana, the Brownsburg Bullet, okay? They were going after each other. Brian Liskey with the call on Speed Shift TV. It's our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Here comes Haudenschild to the outside of Saldana. White flag will be in the air. They are wing to wing out of turn 4. Jack Haudenschild.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official DEF of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information. Instilled with Dryden's heritage of performance, Dryden Diesel All Def is built for the demands of today's diesel engines. Dryden Diesel All Def is perfect for owners and operators of on-road and off-road diesel trucks and cars that now require diesel exhaust fluid. Dryden, official motor oil and official diesel exhaust fluid of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. And as always, American owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Are you a serious diecast collector? Do you have a favorite driver? Are you looking for a gift for a race fan? No matter what the question, the answer is always PlanBSales.com. Plan B has all the latest in diecast from Lionel and apparel, artwork, and other items for your favorite driver in NASCAR or other forms of racing. Go to PlanBSales.com. Key your driver's name in the search window and look at all the options. Your one stop for diecast and other motorsports collectibles is PlanBSales.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
This is the Wing Nation Podcast. Back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
It is Wing Nation, the podcast, and we like to talk sprint car racing, and we love when our sprint car family has great things happen to them, like our guest joining us on the hotline. Of course, been fielding sprint cars and midget cars for quite some time along the way, and announced in February they were going to form Clauson-Marshall Racing and take a crack at the Indianapolis 500. They took a crack, and they locked themselves in to the greatest spectacle in racing. Tim Clauson's on the line. Hello, Tim. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Tim, what's it like? I mean, seriously, what are your what are you feeling now? What's your what's it like?
It's honestly, it's surreal. When we decided to do this, we've been partnered with Driven to Save Lives for the last few years, and they kicked off Driven to Save Lives with the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, partnering with to honor Justin Wilson and his decision. And as we kind of build out our short track program with them, we kind of tossed around the idea of, what if we wanted to take an ownership role for the Indianapolis 500, and it really kind of started off around a table with a couple beers on it, and as we kind of grew out the short track program, it started to make sense to try to get it all under one umbrella.
Tim,
so,
go ahead.
No, I just, so that was kind of the start of it. And, to think, it was about a year ago when we started the conversation, and to live what we did on Saturday was pretty cool.
Just what I was going to ask you about. Tim, talk about Saturday. First of all, it looked like the car finally came together just before opening practice. You went out and you guys have been decent. You've been strong. And you qualify, you put down a good lap. Pippa does a great job. And then as the day goes on, the temperature starts to drop, or temperature changes, and people start going faster. It came down to the line. Talk about those last, 30 minutes on Saturday.
It's we kind of put together a game plan going in, and we knew, being a first-year team, kind of learning what we're trying to do there. We knew our race was going to be getting into the race, right? When we announced it, there was talk of, 36 to 38 cars. It landed on 36. So we spent all week basically just trying to do no-tow runs to get the car as comfortable as we could for the qualifying effort. And the team and Pippa did a fantastic job of it. And so we kind of looked at times and said, okay, if we could land 25th or better on our qualifying lap, we felt like we were going to be pretty safe, even as the bumping came in. And we ended up qualifying on the first round at 24th, so we felt pretty comfortable where we were at. As cars went out and we looked who didn't make it, we decided to go ahead and get the car in line. But hindsight being 2020, we waited too long. There was no way we were going to get through the slow line. So at that point, you got to make the decision: do you throw away what you have and move to the fast line to make sure you get out? And the last 30 minutes, honestly, was probably the most stressful 30 minutes I've ever spent at a racetrack. But it was also the most exhilarating. I've been asked numerous times, do we wish we would have done this with only 33 cars to guarantee our spot in? And I've said it since day one, and I say it today. There's no way I would want to do it any other way than we have with 36, 38 cars. We race to compete. And so to get to live that was just, it was one of the most special moments in racing for me.
Tim, it's interesting that your whole race was around qualifying, and granted, that changes this week. We understand that. Qualifying has been the hot topic, okay? Some of the team owners a month ago were floating the idea of wanting guaranteed spots in the show, okay? And then obviously the big story since then is the McLaren team not qualifying and the comedy of errors that has gone on over there. Tim Clauson qualified for the 500, and Team McLaren couldn't do that. There has got to be a ton of pride in what you guys have done, even at this point, knowing you still have work to do.
Oh, absolutely. When we were sitting there looking at the cars around us that we were competing with, on Saturday, we had a Ganassi car there that was with us. We had the McLaren car that was with us, and as we're trying to get in, we're looking at weather updates at Granite City to see if we were going to go run our midget and sprint car that night. And
That's awesome.
It's look, I think racers are racers, and when the talk of the lock-in stuff came in, it was was kind of interesting because a reporter here locally had asked me earlier the question about 33 cars, and I had said to them that, look, our race is getting into the race. I want to compete to get into the race, because I truly felt at the moment that would be our race, and I had said at the time I didn't think that Roger and Chip were sitting around a table figuring out a new plan because our sprint car team was entering the 500. That same reporter called me 3 weeks later and said, hey, you may have been onto something there, but I do get where they're coming from. As the business model goes. It's so tough to raise the funds that it takes to do, any of this, whether it's a full-time midget program, sprint car program, the Indy 500. But with that, I think we all saw on Saturday and then again on Sunday, what makes Indy so special.
Yeah. For sure. Tim, as far as the car goes, I know you at a racetrack and you, with the sprint cars and midgets, you're involved. You're involved with setup. What is it like with an Indy car, and how involved have you been as far as the car goes?
Well, as far as, it's really, it's no different from the standpoint that, you've got to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And, and really like on the IndyCar side of things, it was, finding a team manager, finding, the crew chief. Obviously we leased assets from Foyt. And so it's really about trying to put the puzzle pieces together. But the first thing that I noticed when we got our whole group together was just the heart that every person in our garage had, not only towards the racing aspect of it, but also the driven to save lives aspect. And most of them knew Brian. Most of them knew the story on why we were doing this. And, not one time did you hear that, well, this is the job, or man, it's getting to be a job. It's just been, everybody's worked so good together. And so it's really, it's really just putting pieces together, like we do in everything we do in this racing deal.
So Tim, here
and
we
do I make any car decisions? No.
Do you understand the computer?
No, I do. But it's interesting. One of the things that we wanted to do with this program this year is learn as much as we can. And I think everything that we do, if you look at our short track program, we try to grow it. And our Indy program now is really no different. When we started off the conversation, we actually talked about buying some cars, putting together our own program, and our timelines just got delayed. We had a drop dead date, and that went and came and went. And then as we got to January, the conversation started started kind of getting hot and heavy again. And we felt that this was the best way to do it. It would also give us an opportunity to put our foot in the water of it. And then, if this year went good, then we could grow it out. So I've done, I've learned a lot about what it takes. I know I have a lot to learn, but it would be no different than if I was to put together, my own wing team, right? I'm going to go find good people to help us get up to speed as fast as we can.
It speaks volumes, the results have, that's for sure. So here we are, we're sitting here Thursday, ready to go into the weekend. You've been around Indy your entire life. You've gone to the Indianapolis 500 as a dad. You've gone to all the short track races around there. What do you expect this weekend's going to be like for you?
Well, we had a practice session yesterday, and I was really pleasantly surprised on where we were. We only got into traffic really one time during the week, and with the cars on edge, like you have to have them qualifying, we got to within about 5 car lengths, and we kind of felt like we're going to have the same problem that a few of the others had. So we got out of that and went back to the single car runs. So when we went out yesterday, we were kind of, we didn't really know what we had, but I think our no-toe speed yesterday was like 4th, 5th, 6th, depending upon what you looked at. And then for a long time there, we were sitting 11th, 12th, even on toe speed. And Pippa said it was absolutely the best handling car she's ever had in traffic. We went ahead and cut our day about 15 minutes short because we knew the weather's going to be much different come this weekend. But we have a really good baseline to go carb day with. And, I feel really good where we're at. Obviously, from a personal standpoint, we're very blessed that we get so much support from all the dirt racers and short track racers that come to the 500. So we know it's going to be busy from that standpoint. But I think we might have a pretty competitive run come Sunday.
That's awesome. Well, this dirt racer's on my way in a few hours.
That's right.
And I've got some Mick Ultra, and I wanted to know if I was still an honorary crew member.
Oh, absolutely, you're an honorary crew member. No, we can't wait to see you guys, and this is pretty cool to get to do. Then we're going to all head over to Kokomo Sunday night and run the sprint car just like Brian used to do, and I really hope this is a great weekend for all of us.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Tim, congratulations. Just wish you the best this weekend. We appreciate everything you've done and accomplishment. We appreciate your friendship as well. Thanks for joining us, and have a good weekend up there in Indianapolis.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
There we go. Tim Clauson. Now that is an incredible story.
It really is.
Amazing. They're in the Indy 500.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but just before qualifications, they put the last stickers on the car. I don't know if you saw it, but Diana, Tim's wife, Brian's mom, put the last little BC Forever sticker on the car, and it was one of the most emotional pictures I've seen. But I'm just so happy for the entire family.
That is amazing, and that is all part of the big race weekend, the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday afternoon, and one of ours. We got one of our people, and they're going to Kokomo afterwards. Port Royal this weekend, Weikert Memorial Weekend up there. Sprint cars, 30-lap feature, both nights, $10,000 to win. Late models, 35-lap features, $5,000 to win. All weekend long, games, music, tailgates, donuts. We've got everything going on. And Weikert's Livestock Wing Nation, presented by Fulken Brothers Trucking and Red Brand Fence, each night at 5 o'clock. Knoxville Raceway, we mentioned this on Tuesday. Friday and Saturday night racing, y'all better get out there and support that. Friday night and Saturday night, hey, camp out, hang out, go to Dingus, do whatever you need to do. Make your own big holiday weekend out of it. John and Kendra and everyone out there have put this out there, and we as Sprint Car fans and Wing Nation need to support it. World of Outlaws, a new event this year. The Patriot Nationals here at the Dirt Track at Charlotte, Friday and Saturday night, $15,000 to win each night. I can't wait. Yeah. I get to do Friday of that before going to Port. So I got World of Outlaws and Pennsylvania Posse in one weekend. Friday and Saturday night at Charlotte. So if you're here in Charlotte for the big 600 weekend, grab those World of Outlaw tickets.
That's porch sitting for us.
That's
right
porch sitting. Yeah, all of us porch sitters. Hey, is Kyle Larson winning that All-Star race for NASCAR? Is that porch sitting?
That could be.
Oh, good question.
I mean, he lives right here.
The Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions, they are in home turf. Attica Friday, Wayne County Saturday, and the return to Fremont. How about that? Yes, that is great. Fremont, the home of the All-Stars, hasn't had the All-Stars for the last few years, but they're back now. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, Lake Ozark Speedway in Eldon, Missouri. The National Tour Saturday and Sunday night. Our friends Racing Boys have all of that. Regional racing action across the country. Weekly racing action. There's a bevy of it out there. And then we get done with this weekend, and then you're going to Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
For the Music City Nationals.
You bet.
That is next weekend, Red Brand Fence Wing Nation with Erin and Ray Evernham. Thursday night, Big Machine Vodka, Nashville, a party.
Oh, yeah, taste testing.
Taste testing. Friday and Saturday nights, 4 o'clock local time, Fairground Speedway in Nashville as you kick it off with Wing Nation. And, of course, if you can't make it to Nashville, right here on wingnation.com, we have all of the coverage. I'm all geeked up. We got the big race weekend, and I've got sprint cars in my future.
Oh, yeah.
So it is going to be great. Oh, by the way, coming up, our HRP Racing calendar, upcoming shows. Saturday, MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. We're going to talk with Tanner Thorson to see how he's doing with his recovery. Enjoy the race weekend. It's the big one, folks. Enjoy your race weekend, and thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
This has been the Wing Nation Podcast. Find Wing Nation on wingnation.com, Facebook, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider. The Wing Nation Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.